Bismillah wa salatu wa salam ala nabiyyina Muhammad. A question was asked, and this is a very common question, and so as not to highlight any particular individual, but it is a common question for males and females regarding coming from an abusive background where the parents are not religious or their parents are oppressive and irreligious, abusive physically, mentally, spiritually, and otherwise sometimes. How to deal with that, especially if you're a person of age. Now, if a person who's in the high school age and so forth, they almost are, especially in America, will have age restrictions and limitations for what they can do under those circumstances. But however, if someone is a mature adult and they face these circumstances from the male perspective, they need to be striving their utmost to get a job and make themselves independent so they can practice their religion better and be in a more religious environment and community. From the female perspective, I also advise in general from this type of perspective to also work on themselves. And if it is unbearable being in that situation, and they are, and I usually don't like to advise with this, to rush and use marriage as a band-aid for situations, but sometimes Islamically, this really is the best decision. So for females, sometimes they need to be very active in trying to find a suitable, righteous spouse, not just one it seems all that way, but to look into what they are, potential marital suitors, and make active efforts in their community or in a community of Ahl Sunnah to find a religious, good, practicing individual that's not hopefully abusive and not from one abuse to another abuse, because this happens as well. And that's why I don't advise usually to rush into marriages. However, sometimes due to the nature of the situation, when a person is really struggling with their religion and they're going through depression and going through very immense amount of anxiety, and then they're trying to be religious, but they're still having those obstacles in their household, which is attempting to destroy them and demoralize them, then yes, it is better for them to strive to try to get married to a suitable, righteous spouse, and to be in a more fruitful Islamic environment. Wa sallallahu wa sallam ala nabiyyina Muhammad.